Hello and welcome to the last of the Mastermind semi-finals with me, Clive Myrie. In the spotlight tonight are Neil Pritchard, an IT analyst. His specialist subject is the war memoirs of Spike Milligan. Rakesh Sharma, an MBA student. His subject is the acclaimed Indian musician MS Subbulakshmi. Olivia Woolley, a university lecturer who will be answering questions on the 17th century royal and political conflict, the Glorious Revolution, and Ivan Milatovic, a solicitor. His subject, the career of the Grand Slam winning tennis player Novak Djokovic. We've reached the last of the semi-finals and our four contenders are waiting nervously for their chance to shine, to strut their stuff on the catwalk that is television's toughest quiz. Who'll be sashaying down the Mastermind runway with the most ease and confidence over 2 minutes of a specialist subject and 2.5 minutes on general knowledge. Just one place in the Mastermind Grand Final remains, and with it, the chance to win this magnificent glass bowl. Good luck to one and all. So can I ask our first semi-finalist to join us, please? Your name?
Neil Pritchard.
Your occupation?
IT analyst.
And your specialist subject?
The war memoirs of Spike Milligan.
The Irish comedian's humorous recollections of his time as a soldier in the Second World War. In 2 minutes, here we go. Having been instructed to join the 56th Heavy Regiment Royal Artillery, Milligan gets off the train, at which English coastal town, writing, "It wasn't easy, the train didn't stop there."
Bexhill-on-Sea.
Yes, in Tunisia, Milligan first catches sight of which future member of the Goons, describing him as a short gunner, wearing iron-frame spectacles and baggy shorts that look like a tea-clipper under full sail.
Harry Seacombe.
Yes, what name does Milligan give to the humorous fictional communiques from members of the Third Reich, which he includes in several volumes of his memoirs?
Pass.
In North Africa, what archaeological site does Milligan decide to visit, only to find his friend Doug Kidgel exclaiming, "Is this it? It's terrible. It's like Catford."
Carthage.
Yes, in January 1943, Milligan and his friend Harry Edgington are told to transport a container of what foodstuff to Liverpool?
Stew.
No, porridge. What name does Milligan give to the stray dog described as a cross between an Alsatian and a something hairy, whom he befriends in Tunisia?
Havelock Ellis.
Yes, in Goodbye Soldier, Milligan begins a relationship with which Italian ballerina, whom he first meets while buying a wristwatch from a street vendor in Naples?
Maria Antoinetta Fontana.
Yes, in Algeria, Milligan encounters which American military leader who asks the soldier, "What kind of cannons are these?"
Alexander.
No, Eisenhower. Which English town is Milligan travelling to in May 1947 when he's told by a friend that what he can look forward to there are 7 sunless days, tripe, onions and bronchitis?
Southend.
No, Blackpool. In North Africa, Milligan wakes up one night in his tent to find what creature crawling on his chest, which he assumes at first to be an 11-foot king cobra.
Scorpion.
Yes, when the officers' mess catches fire in November 1943, Milligan writes a poem about which major who did rush in to save his precious possessions, his wig, his teeth, his gin.
Evan Jumbo Jenkins.
It is Evan Jenkins. Nearly had just a one pass. The humorous fictional communiques from members of the Third Reich, Milligan called them Hitlergrams. You knew that.
Yeah.
And at the end of that round, Neil, you've got 7 points.
Thank you.
And our next contender, please. Your name?
Rakesh Sharma.
Your occupation?
MBA student.
And your specialist subject?
MS Subbulakshmi.
Yes, the life and career of the acclaimed Indian Carnatic musician who died in 2004. In 2 minutes, here we go. The initial M in MS Subbulakshmi's full name stands for the name of which city in southern India, where she was born in 1916?
Madurai.
Yes, Subbulakshmi performed at the Kumbakonam Mahamaham in 1932, organised by the filmmaker K. Subramaniam, who went on to cast her in what film 6 years later?
Seva Sadanam.
Yes, which Prime Minister of India was so moved by Subbulakshmi's singing that he famously described her as a queen of music?
Jawaharlal Nehru.
Yes, Subbulakshmi met her future husband Tyagaraja Sadasivam when he arranged for a feature on her to appear in what Tamil magazine?
Anand Vikatan.
Yes, Subbulakshmi and Sadasivam married in July 1940 and held a celebration in Ranganatha Swami Temple in which village in Madras?
Tirunelveli.
No, Tirunelmalai. The musicians K. Ramanathan, V. Nagarajan and more regularly T.K. Murthy accompanied Subbulakshmi singing, performing on what instrument?
Mridangam Kanjira Ghatam.
Yes, in 1995, Subbulakshmi was presented with the Dinanath Pratishtan Award for meritorious service in the Carnatic music field by which other singer?
Lata Mangeshkar.
Yes, Subbulakshmi's final role as an actress was as the mystic of the title in the 1940s film Meera, which featured music by S.K. Venkataraman and dialogue by which colleague of Sadasivam?
Krishnamurthy. Kalki Krishnamurthy.
Yes, what was the first name of Subbulakshmi's stepdaughter who sang backing vocals for her performances?
Radha.
Yes, in 1998, what civilian award, sometimes known as the Jewel of India, and given for exceptional service or performance of the highest order, was conferred on Subbulakshmi?
Bharat Ratna.
Yes. Which bhajan or devotional song did Subbulakshmi learn and sing for Mahatma Gandhi's birthday in 1947, which was then played on All Radio India following the announcement of his death a few months later?
Hari Tumharo.
Yes. And that's the end of your round. You had no passes, Rakesh. You've got 10 points. And our next contender, please. Your name,
Olivia Woolley,
your occupation,
university lecturer.
and your specialist subject.
The Glorious Revolution.
The overthrow of James II of England and 7th of Scotland by his Protestant son-in-law, William of Orange, and daughter Mary to prevent a future Catholic succession to the throne. In 2 minutes, here we go. What was the name of King James's younger daughter, who was second in line to the throne behind her sister Mary, to whom she wrote, casting doubt on their stepmother's pregnancy?
Anne.
Yes, after the birth of a potential Catholic heir on the 10th of June, 1688, it was widely rumoured that the baby had actually been smuggled into the Queen's bedchamber inside what object?
A bedpan.
Yes, warming pan. In June 1688, 7 bishops were acquitted of what crime after submitting a petition to James protesting his order that the Declaration of Indulgence should be read in churches?
Seditious libel.
Yes, which Lord Chancellor of Scotland fled the Edinburgh mob in December 1688, but was captured after attempting to flee the country?
Perth.
Yes, in November 1687, 25 fellows were expelled from which Oxford College after refusing to elect James's choice of college president?
Magdalen College.
Yes, what was the name of the Bishop of London, one of the so-called Immortal Seven, who wrote to William of Orange in June 1688, inviting him to invade England?
Henry Compton.
Yes, after James fled London on the 11th of December 1688, he was captured and brought back, only for William to request that he leave again for which mansion near Richmond?
Ham House.
Yes, on the 5th of November 1688, William's invasion fleet landed at which English town? On Tor Bay, after a so-called Protestant wind had prevented James's fleet from putting to sea.
Oh, God. Pass.
The coinage minted by James to pay his army in Ireland is known by what name because of the supposed origin of the metal used?
Gunmetal.
No, gun money. At the Battle of the Boyne, the main body of William's forces crossed the river and engaged the remnants of the Jacobite army at which village?
Oldbridge.
Yes, what name was given to the legislative body, which, in the absence of a formal English parliament, met on the 22nd of January, 1689 to consider the succession and eventually offered the throne to William and Mary?
The Convention.
Yes, what was the name of the French ambassador who warned the States General? I've started, so I'll finish. What was the name of the French ambassador who warned the States General in 1688 that an attack on England could lead to renewed hostilities with France?
The Comte de Vaux.
It was the Comte de Vaux. Olivia, you had just a 1 pass. You had a blank on this. I know you know it. William's invasion fleet landed at Brixham. Yes, on Tor Bay. At the end of that round, Olivia, you've got 10 points.
Thank you.
And our final contender, please.
Ivan Milatovic.
Your occupation
Solicitor.
and your specialist subject.
The career of Novak Djokovic.
The Serbian record-breaking tennis player in 2 minutes. Here we go. Which Russian player did Novak Djokovic beat in the final of the 2023 US Open to win a record 24th Grand Slam singles tournament in the Open era?
Daniil Medvedev.
Yes, in 1999, age 12, Djokovic was sent to a tennis academy run by the Croatian former player Nikola Pilic in which German city?
Munich.
Yes, at which tournament in July 2006 did Djokovic win his first ATP title, winning all his matches in straight sets and defeating Nicolas Massu in the final?
Amersfoort.
Yes, the Dutch Open. Djokovic completed the career Grand Slam when he won the 2016 French Open, losing only 2 sets during the whole tournament, one in the final against Andy Murray and another in the 4th round against which player?
Roberto Bautista Agut.
Yes, who served as Djokovic's coach between 2006 and 2022 and coached him to 20 Grand Slam singles titles?
Marian Vajda.
Yes, Djokovic beat Roger Federer in a final set tiebreak to win the 2019 Wimbledon final, having been tied at 12 games all. What was the score in the tiebreak?
7-4.
No, 7-3. Djokovic made his Grand Slam singles debut at the 2005 Australian Open, but lost to which player in the first round?
Marat Safin.
Yes, when he was knocked out by Alexei Popyrin in the 3rd round of the US Open in 2024, Djokovic served how many double faults, the most he's ever served in a Grand Slam match?
14.
Yes, the only set Djokovic dropped when he won the Australian Open in 2011 was in a tiebreak against which player in the 2nd round?
Tsonga.
No, Ivan Dodig. Djokovic won both his singles matches in Serbia's 3-2 victory over which country in the final of the 2010 Davis Cup?
France.
Yes, in the 2008 Olympics, Djokovic lost his semi-final to Rafael Nadal, but won the bronze medal by beating which American player?
James Blake.
Yes, in 2017, Djokovic retired from his Wimbledon quarter-final and missed the US Open after injuring which joint in his body?
Elbow.
It was his right elbow. Ivan, at the end of that round, you had no passes. You've got 10 points. And at the end of the specialist subjects round in this semi-final, let's have a look at the scores. In 4th place with 7 points, it's Neil. And in joint 1st place with 10 points each, Rakesh, Olivia and Ivan. So now it's the general knowledge round, and if there's a tie at the end, then the number of passes is taken into account, and the person with the fewer passes is the winner. And if they're tied on passes as well, it's a tie break. So let's ask Neil to join us again, please. Neil, you start with 7 points. You've now got 2.5 minutes on general knowledge. Here we go. Which London airport is designated by the international code LHR?
London Heathrow.
Yes. What's the first name of the former leader of the Conservative Party, who was made a life peer in 2010 and took the title Lord Howard of Lymm?
Michael Howard.
Yes. The name America is derived from that of which Florentine explorer and navigator born in the 1450s?
Amerigo Vespucci.
Yes, when she won gold in the final of the women's 100 metres at the 2024 Paris Olympics, Julian Alfred became the first athlete from which country to win an Olympic medal?
Barbados.
No, St. Lucia. In which novel by Charles Dickens does the title character attend Salem House School run by a brutal headmaster named Mr. Creakle?
Oliver Twist.
No, David Copperfield. Which element with the atomic number 34 and the chemical symbol Se is used to add a red colour in glassmaking?
Selenium.
Yes. What Spanish word meaning fragrant or scented is the name of a nutty variety of sherry made from palomino grapes?
Pass.
Olympus Mons, the largest known volcano in our solar system, is on which planet?
Mars.
Yes. Which American singer had UK #1 singles in the 1960s with Only the Lonely, It's Over and Oh Pretty Woman?
Roy Orbison.
Yes. Instead of using a conventional signature, the artist James McNeill Whistler marked many of his later paintings with a monogram based on his initials depicting what insect?
A cricket.
No, a butterfly. South America's largest species of crocodile, now critically endangered, shares its common name with what major river which flows through the north of the continent?
The Amazon.
No, the Orinoco was the name of the online platform launched in 2007 that allows viewers to watch BBC television programmes for a period of time after they've been broadcast.
iPlayer.
Yes, the Canadian port city of Halifax on the country's North Atlantic coast is the capital of which province?
Nova Scotia.
Yes, what term derived from a Sanskrit word for wheel is used in yoga for any of the centres of energy or spiritual power in the body?
Chakra.
Yes, in the abbreviation RSJ, for a type of metal beam widely used in the construction industry, the letter S stands for the name of what alloy?
Steel.
Yes, in the 1941 film Citizen Kane, a reporter is tasked with discovering the significance of what word murmured by the title character on his deathbed.
Rosebud.
It is rosebud. Neil, just a one pass. What Spanish word meaning fragrant or scented is the name of a nutty variety of sherry made from Palomino grapes, Oloroso? At the end of that round, Neil, you've got 18 points. Next up, it's Rakesh. Rakesh, you start with 10 points. The score to beat as it stands is 18 points, and you've now got 2.5 minutes on general knowledge. Here we go. The African archaeological sites known as the Valley of the Kings and the Valley of the Queens are on the west bank of which major river?
Nile.
Yes, which Irish rock band had several UK hit albums in the 1980s, including War, Under a Blood Red Sky and Rattle and Hum?
U2.
Yes, albacore, sometimes called longfin, is a species of what commercially important fish?
Beluga.
No, tuna. Which American theoretical physicist is the subject of the 2005 Pulitzer Prize-winning biography American Prometheus by Kai Bird and Martin J. Sherwin?
Oppenheimer.
Yes, which European country has the International Vehicle Registration Code D?
Netherlands.
No, Germany. In July 2024, which Welsh former football player was appointed to succeed Rob Page as the head coach of the Wales national men's team?
George Best.
No, Craig Bellamy. Which American composer won Oscars for his film scores for Star Wars, Jaws and Schindler's List?
John Williams.
Yes, to be sold in the UK, items over a certain weight and described as being made from any of 4 precious metals must bear a legally recognised hallmark. These metals are gold, silver, platinum and which other?
Titanium.
No, palladium. What name, a contraction of the term algorithmic language, was given to a series of early computer programming languages starting from the late 1950s?
ASCII.
No, algol. Flour made from what pulse is the main ingredient in the savoury French snack known as panis?
Chickpea.
Yes, the Central Hall of Arts and Sciences was the intended name for which concert venue in South Kensington in London before it was changed by Queen Victoria?
Royal Albert Hall.
Yes, the military engagements that marked the start of the American War of Independence in 1775 are the battles of Lexington and where else?
Gettysburg.
No, Concord. What 5-letter Latin word for grease is the name for the oily substance secreted by glands in the human body to lubricate the hair and skin?
Sebum.
Yes, the formula 1/3 of the base area multiplied by the perpendicular height is used to calculate the volume of what solid figure?
Cylinder.
No, pyramid. The 1976 BAFTA-winning television series I, Claudius was based on the historical novels of which British author?
Robert Graves.
Yes, according to the usual English title of an early 18th century aria by Johann Sebastian Bach. What farm animals may safely graze?
Sheep.
Yes, in 1967, Hassanal. I've started, so I'll finish. In 1967, Hassanal Bolkiah, who is often cited as one of the world's wealthiest individuals, succeeded his father as the Sultan of which small Southeast Asian country?
Brunei.
It is Brunei. Rakesh, you had no passes at the end of that round. You've got 20 points. Next up, it's Olivia. Olivia, you start with 10 points. The score to beat as it stands is 20 points. You've now got 2.5 minutes on general knowledge. Here we go. In the 1970s children's television series Bagpuss, the title character is a pink and white toy in the shape of what animal?
A cloth cat.
Yes, what word for a state of prolonged unconsciousness resulting from illness or injury is derived from a Greek word for deep sleep?
Coma.
Yes, on the radio program Desert Island Discs, each castaway is asked to choose how many different pieces of music?
10.
No, 8. A well-known variety of prosciutto, often served with melon, is named after which city in northern Italy?
Parma.
Yes, the American actor Carl Weathers, who died in February 2024, played which character in the first 4 films of the Rocky franchise?
Is coach.
No, Apollo Creed, in which 2-dimensional geometric shape are all points on its perimeter at an equal distance from its centre?
Square.
No, Circle. The albums Fall to Grace and A Perfect Contradiction, which both reached number 2 in the UK albums chart in the early 2010s, are by which British singer?
Adele.
No, Paloma Faith. Which US state has the 2-letter postal abbreviation PA?
Pennsylvania.
Yes, in rugby union, what name is given to the trophy in the form of a silver shield that's awarded to any one of the 4 home nations that defeats each of the other 3 at the annual Six Nations Championship?
Pass.
The title of Ben Jonson's early 17th century play, Volpone, is usually translated as the what?
Hypocrite.
No, Fox, the geological time period between around 252 and 299 million years ago, which was the final part of the Paleozoic era, was given what name after a region of Russia just west of the Ural Mountains?
Oh, Siberian.
No, the Permian. A lusophone is a person who speaks which European language?
Portuguese.
Yes, a plant of the genus Strelitzia, with flowers that resemble the colourful plumage of species of birds found mainly in New Guinea and Australia, is known as bird of what?
Paradise.
Yes, which martial art, typically practiced using bamboo swords, has a name that translates from Japanese as way of the sword?
Kendo.
Yes, the 1989 novel by John Irving about a boy who accidentally kills his friend's mother at a baseball game in the 1950s is entitled A Prayer for Whom?
Colomini.
No, Owen Meany. What property? I've started, so I'll finish. What property of a fluid, typically measured in Pascal seconds, is a measure of its resistance to flow and is the direct opposite of fluidity?
Viscosity.
It is viscosity. Olivia, just the one pass you had in rugby union. The trophy that they're all vying for is the Triple Crown. And at the end of that round, you've got 18 points.
Thanks.
And finally, let's have Ivan again, please. Ivan, you start with 10 points, the score to beat to get through to the Mastermind Grand Final. Is Rakesh's 20 points. You've now got 2.5 minutes on general knowledge. Here we go. In both upper and lower case, an inverted letter M most closely resembles which other letter of the alphabet?
W.
Yes, the standard version of the board for which game features images of characters called Officer Edgar Mallory and Jake the Jailbird?
Cluedo.
No, Monopoly. What tree has species called the Lawson and the Italian and has a common name that sounds the same as that of an island in the Eastern Mediterranean Sea?
Cyprus.
Yes. What stage musical, which opened on Broadway in 2011, was co-written by Trey Parker and Matt Stone, who'd previously created the animated television comedy series South Park?
Book of Mormon.
Yes. St. Anne is the main town on which of the Channel Islands?
Guernsey.
No, Alderney. What was the professional name of the American world heavyweight boxing champion born Joseph Barrow in Alabama in 1914?
Jack Johnson.
No, Joe Louis, Vivaldi, Charlotte and Aaron Pilot are varieties of what vegetable?
Cabbage.
No, Potato. What television music program, first shown in 1971, took its title from the tradition of composers in New York's Tin Pan Alley playing tunes to elderly employees to determine whether they were memorable enough to provide a hit?
Ragtime.
No, the Old Grey Whistle Test. The city of Istanbul sits on a curved estuary that forms a natural harbour known as the Golden what?
Horn.
Yes, the best-selling 2021 novel, The President's Daughter, was co-written by the author James Patterson and which former US president?
Bill Clinton.
Yes, what's the denomination of the Bank of England note printed on polymer for the first time in 2021 that features on its reverse a portrait of the mathematician Alan Turing?
£50.
Yes, Un Chien Andalou, or An Andalusian Dog, is the title of a short film made in the 1920s by Salvador Dali and which Spanish director?
Buñuel.
Yes, what type of woolen cloth, sometimes known as plaid, is characterized by a checked pattern, the various designs of which have historically been used to identify particular Scottish clans?
Tartan.
Yes, which Texan-born model and actress posed as a mythological sea nymph on the front cover of the 1975 Roxy Music album Siren?
Jerry Hall.
Yes, the term maglev for a type of transportation technology that allows specially designed trains to glide above a track without any friction is a contraction of what two words?
Magnetic levitation.
Yes, in the orchestral fairy tale Peter and the Wolf by Prokofiev, Peter's grandfather is represented by what woodwind instrument?
Bassoon.
Yes, in 1969, which politician became Israel's first female prime minister?
Golda Meir.
It is Golda Meir. Ivan, at the end of that round, you had no passes. You've done it, 22 points. So let's have a look at the final scores, and it was neck and neck till the very end. In joint third place with 18 points each, Neil and Olivia. In second place with 20 points, it's Rakesh, which means in first place with 22 points, it's Ivan, so he goes through to the grand final. Congratulations to him. If you'd like to be a contender in the next series, please go to our website, bbc.co.uk/mastermind, and you can follow us at Mastermind Quiz. Join us again next time for the Mastermind Grand Final. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.
So winning my semi-final is amazing. I feel flabbergasted. It's incredible to beat such three amazing competitors in such a tight game. I'm still shocked.
In first place with 22 points, it's Ivan, so he goes through to the grand final. Congratulations to him.
Mastermind champions are legends. So just to be in that conversation is just insane. I can't believe I'm there, really.
And your specialist subject?
The career of Novak Djokovic. So I picked Novak Djokovic as my specialist subject because he's Serbian, so am I. And I've been a tennis fan for over 40 years, and I'm a tennis umpire. And he's a great ambassador for our country. He's done such amazing things. And really, to be able to talk about his career is wonderful. Amersfoort.
Yes.
Marat Safin.
Yes.
James Blake.
Yes.
At home, my wife and my two daughters have been helping me to revise. They're sick of tennis stats by now, and they're sick of various bits and bits of general knowledge that I've been asking them about. So they'll be very, very pleased and looking forward to the final as well.